We're back. Night two. MSG. Lost my voice a little bit. People say, why do you go to three shows in a row? And it's because you never know what you're going to get with these guys. And tonight's a perfect example. Last night was incredible. I was very pleased. Tonight, I don't know what to expect. I get to MSG. Text my buddy Mike, who's been seeing these guys for 30 years. Text him around 7:45. I said, something different in the air tonight. Maybe it was wishful thinking. Maybe I did pick up on some kind of energy. I have no idea. But these guys did not disappoint. Night two was well worth it. Phish, MSG, 12, 29, 25. Night two of the 4-night run. One more left in me tomorrow. 2 more left for the run. Was blessed to take my other brother-in-law, TJ, tonight, who's seen numerous shows with me since 2017, 2018, around that time. So he's a mainstay on the New Year's Eve run and summer tour, things like that. Trey activated rockstar mode tonight. That's one way to sum this up. As you go into these runs, you start to think about, what do I want to hear? What do I hope for? And I wouldn't say I was sick of Carini, but I was like, you know what? I've been seeing it a lot the past few years. If they don't bust it, it's all good. I could go without it. Well, damn, I was wrong. First song opened the show. For those that think that these guys are just a noodly jam band, well, they'll tear your head off with Carini. Come right out with Carini at 7:59. Stretch it out about 10 minutes. Make a detour into Plasma. Plasma is never on schedule, always on time. I love Plasma. I put Plasma in that same category as Oblivion. I'm never disappointed to get it. They can do a lot with it. They can do a little with it. They get into Plasma, and lo and behold, as they're wrapping up Plasma, they go right back into Carini. Like, boom, just blow the roof off MSG. And I was like, oh boy, something's going down tonight in this first set. They wrap up Carini after a few minutes. We get the curtain, old school classic. Trey's in the zone. And I normally don't tout Trey like everybody does. He's my favorite guitar player on the planet right now, has been for a long time. But this band is a sum of amazing parts. But Trey was just on one tonight. I mean, rockstar mode activated. So we get through the curtain, about 12, 13 minutes. Beautiful playing, beautiful jam. And then we get old school Bathtub Gin. And you get a gin in the first set, you're always happy. The crowd goes nuts. It's high participation on some of the lyrics. Always a good time. But man, if you are a fan of this band, go get the gin from tonight and listen to it. It is one of the best gins I've ever witnessed. I don't know if it's one of the best gins I've ever heard, but one I've been present for. Totally ripped it up. Trey just went off on incredible rage solo. I wouldn't say solo, incredible rage playing. Band fell in right behind him, and it was a beautiful thing. They kick into NICU after about a 13, 14-minute gin, kind of getting the crowd bouncy. That's usually a quick tune. Not much they do with that. And then I think they knew we needed a break, and the band deserved a break, so we get a newer tune and Evolve, mellow it out a little bit, and then just a wonderful, wonderful rendition of Mountains in the Mist, which is always welcome to me. That's where you really get the quiet, subtle balance at the end of the first set. Guys taking a breather. And then I'm thinking, man, they're not going to end on Mountains, so we got one more. And what do we get? We get a raucous Fluffhead. And Trey inserts, a little Fluffhead came to New York. Garden erupts, lights go crazy. People just lose their minds. So first set was killer. For me, the highlights, face melting Carini, Plasma, back into Carini to start the set. Curtain is always, always welcome. I was getting '04 vibes. One of my friend John is coming with me tomorrow. He's texting me Magna Ball vibes, which I get it. I mean, it was just great to hear him play it. And then obviously the Gin and Fluffhead's always a highlight. I mean, come on, it's Fluffhead. Second song, they come back. Second set, they come back on around 9:52, and Mike. I don't want to be too critical, but Mike's not being Mike the past couple of nights, so I think they throw him a bone here and come out with a Mike song. Really in the pocket, nice groove, a little bit slower, not as amped up, and not on my radar. And this is what this second set's about, actually. This song's not being on my radar. We go right into a Mike song at the Final Hurrah. Great Final Hurrah. Everybody was enthusiastic about it. Really grooving. A little bit of a sing-along going on with the crowd, which is always fun. And then we smash it right into the Weekapaug Groove. And these guys are really grooving, getting into it, as the song states, right? Just kind of settling in, picked up the pace quite a bit, and then comes probably the highlight of the night. I don't know how everybody else feels about this, but we get a new wave of hope, and the roof almost came off the place. I mean, it's one of these songs too where I don't necessarily always think about it being in the set list. Where's it going to go? Maybe I'm a little bit too old school, so I don't think about some of the later catalog stuff as much as everybody else does. But some of these songs, when I hear them, I'm like, oh, this is perfect. New Wave of Hope. Hopefully they post this on the official Phish site, because it's always something that they seem to jam on the past several years, and tonight was like no other. Hard for me to put into words. I have to go back and listen to it. But again, Trey hit the God mode on his pedal board and just went absolutely off. I mean, off. Tension and release, build up, the whole nine. Very arena rockish, but with class, dignity, and just absolute prowess and energy. I mean, he was really on one tonight. I feel like these guys didn't need to be carried. I hate to say that and sound like I'm being critical. I'm like the out of shape guy yelling at the NFL player on the couch on Sunday. It's not what I'm trying to sound like, but you could just see Trey the past two nights, especially second set into the show tonight, really had something extra going on. And it's great to see, because I don't know how much longer we're going to get these guys in this form or at all. So happy to see that. So then another later favorite of mine, 20 years later, and just a fantastic, fantastic tune. Always glad to hear it. And not too much to say about that. Just a lot of psychedelic expression towards the end of that song, really building it out. It was awesome. Then we closed the second set with a song. We got a cover. And I don't really consider this a cover anymore. I feel like this is their song, Golden Age, which is an Apples and Stereo cut. They've kind of made it their own the past 10 years, 10, 12 years, I guess. Not something I look forward to anymore, because I've seen it so many times, but it was a pretty cool way they placed it. Second to last song, got into a groove. And then we roll into Character Zero, which I think that's the song everybody who's seen this band has seen the most. So you get zeroed. It's all good. Sometimes I love it. Sometimes it's, okay, we got the zero. Now, unfortunately for me, I left right after zero, during zero. I got word back from home that the roads are pretty icy, so I wanted to get a jump start. And I regret it, because, of course, the Encore was Lizards, which I missed. And then I caught Possum on XM on the car ride home. And one of my favorite Phish tunes. It's just a blast. It's a wacky song. If you don't know the band and you hear the lyrics, you're like, what the hell are they singing about? And then you catch it, and it's almost like cartoon-esque. The problem with Possum for me is I don't want it in the Encore. I want it mid-set, because I never want to leave once that song plays. But Trey definitely gets his boogie on. It sounded like a pretty energetic version from what I heard on the car ride home. And all in all, just a fantastic show. So two different views of this band. First night, very old school, came right out in a groove, stretched out theme in the second set. Tonight just came off and punched us all in the gut with that Carini. Wasn't on my radar. That's what I get with this band. I mean, I kind of get a feel where they might go once they start, maybe what they played the night before. Maybe tomorrow night I'll have an idea, but I'll be way off. But all in all, when people ask, like, why do you go see this band 2 or 3 or 4 nights in a row? This is why. This is why. Because you experience these shows, it's just a different approach every night, different set list. You don't know what to expect. And there's some downside with that. Sometimes you see a show and they take chances and they fail. But tonight they were taking chances and it was primo. I got to go back and listen to the show tomorrow. It was creeping into my top 10 at one point, and I think it took a little dip in set 1, fell off my radar, but the second set was awesome. So then post-show, there's so much going on in the city. I know MMW is playing with Nels Klein, all these up-and-coming jam bands, but I caught the Wolfman Secret Spin on the ride home, played a Flying Lotus album, Get Out of Town. What a great way to cap off the night. That album was wrapping up as I was pulling in the driveway, so shout out to the Wolfman. Great way to end the Phish run. One more tomorrow. I'm excited. I'll be going with my good friend John, as I mentioned earlier, who's been seeing them. I think this is his 30th anniversary of his first MSG show, so he's probably going to be rearing to go. So we'll hit the road. We'll see where the guys take us. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and we'll talk to you soon.